Hello, retro gamers, and welcome to the Video Game Flashback Podcast. I am your host, Paladino Joey, or Joey Awajan. Video Game Flashback is available on all of your favorite podcasting apps, the Apple Podcasts, the Google Podcasts, the Spotifys, the iHeartRadios, and many others. Thank you once and always for downloading and listening to the show. It is a great pleasure to be back on board with you once again today for the third and final part. So it's part 3 of basically episode 10, if that makes sense. Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past for the Super Nintendo. I had just defeated level 5, the very difficult and annoying Ice Palace. And just like every other time you beat a palace or labyrinth or whatever the heck in this game, go and fill up your medicine, because I'm sure you've used up some of it, especially after that level. And of course, you know the trick to go get the money a little bit west of the desert. Fill it up if you need to, and if you have plenty of money, well, then get at least 2 or 3, I'd say 3 of the blue medicine and 1 red. You probably don't need all 4 blue, except maybe the final battle with Ganon, just in case. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of challenge coming up. So level 6, level 7, Ganon's Tower, and then of course the final battle with Ganon himself will be on in this episode, along with feedback and all of that. So I've just filled up all the medicine. Now it's time to maybe run some errands, and hopefully a very exciting one where we can get the most powerful sword in the game, in the newer version of Waterfall of Wishing, or Pond of Happiness. We'll show you that as we move forward. Unfortunately, at this part of the game, you still cannot get the super bomb in the bomb shop, which is basically the Dark World version of what Link's house is. It's a bomb shop where the creature that with the creature with the snout, basically the snouted creature, sells 30 bombs for 100 rupees. Please buy a mister, all that cute stuff. But later on in the game, you can get the super bomb. It's a big red one. You take that to the pyramid, a cracked wall outside of the pyramid. You blow it open, and then you have a chance to, throw some items in the water to get more powerful items. Of course, without the silver arrow, you can't kill Ganon, just like in Zelda 1. So basically you throw your bow and arrow in there and get the silver arrow. You throw your red sword in there, you get the golden sword. So it's like the most powerful version of the Master Sword. Highly recommended for both items. Of course, the silver arrow, you can't win the game without it. So common sense there. Now to get to level 6, you have to be in the light world and have the bird take you to the very, very southeast corner. One of the options, of course. Right now I'm screwing around in the dark world before I get there, just for the hell of it. I'm not even sure why, but I'll pull up the bird right now, if humanly possible, as I continue to mess around the swampy, humid area before you get to the desert to the to the west, further in there. So basically it's number 6 selection, the far, far southwest, not southeast, but southwest corner of Hyrule in the light world. Of course, you get the 2 dark rocks. One of them has a portal underneath it, and guess where you are? The big old swamp. Yep. Not the swamp in Link's Awakening. That's later on. That's in like the northern central area of the game, but not too far north. But yep, now you get to the outside of it. Of course, it's raining and nasty. It's a thunderstorm. It's gross. Then you see the image of a medallion. That would be the ether. So if you don't have ether, you can't get in. You don't have the ether medallion. Otherwise, you get to it, you equip your medallion in the Y, whatever. You have that as your Y item. Press the Y button, asking why I need to do this, and things start happening. The screen starts flashing. It stops raining. And this big, giant entrance comes out of the ground. And there you go. You can get into level 6. So it's no longer raining. The thunderstorm's over. You can get in level 6. Enjoy. A new monster in this level. Again, the first couple moments you don't see anything new, but now you get the obnoxious wizards that are also in Zelda 1 that cast spells at you right around level 6 in that game. That's when you start seeing the wizards. I'm not remembering if... Nope, it doesn't work. So you need the mirror shield to reflect it back. Otherwise you get damaged if the spell hits you. The red one does not protect you. Neither do you get protected from the obnoxious red lasers shot from the turning statue thingy. So those are back again like earlier in the game. So, yep, it doesn't get easier, it just gets harder. And the wizards appear and disappear just like in Zelda 1 and in Zelda 2, actually, because there are wizards in Zelda 2. Yes, there are. Remember? And eventually you get the reflect shield or the reflect spell that makes your shield reflect the spells back at the wizards. In this game, you don't reflect anything when it comes to that, other than just your Master Sword can reflect the wizard spells back at him, like the main wizard, Agadim, who's basically Ganon in disguise. Yes, I think we've covered that topic enough already. So continue with level 6, and we'll keep moving. Also in this level, you get kind of a Super Mario world looking effect, kind of where it's like you're walking on kind of a screen area that's above the area below. You know how a lot of these levels have the upper and lower area, so it's kind of interesting. And of course, again, you get the obnoxious colored switch deal, the blue and the reddish, orangish, whatever the heck ish it is. So, yep, again, but this reminds me of Super Mario World a little bit. The screen that you can kind of climb on in Mario World in the, well, you know, the levels where Bowser's children are. In this one, you're actually just walking on it. It's a higher level. So, yeah, that's another interesting feature, I guess, that I noticed in this level. And just like in level 5, there are some areas where you may end up having to walk on spikes. But, if you have the magic cape, you don't have to walk on the spikes. You're basically like phased, so to speak, like in Star Trek, where, yeah, you wouldn't take damage walking on spikes. But unfortunately, the son of a gun thing will take magic pretty rapidly. So, you know, when you press Y to become like invisible, basically walking over the spikes, you got to press it again to turn it off so you don't drain your magic power and waste what you have. So, magic. It's beautiful, it's valuable, but again, it's expensive. Don't waste it. Don't waste it. Just use common sense. Unfortunately, I'm having issues finding a key, so that's the other fun part to think about. Unfortunately, like most of these labyrinths, it opens up with kind of a where the bleep do I go vibe, but eventually you kind of sort of start to catch on, and there are areas where you have to walk on the spikes, though. Like this one where there's a switch, you have no choice. In fact, it really didn't do much, did it? But it makes you actually get a treasure chest, but I'm almost dead getting it. Stupid, you're literally standing on the spikes just to get a key, so wonderful. You run into multiple areas where, well, there's a keyhole. I still don't have a frickin' key, so what the heck is this crap? So, yeah, it's a fun game. It's really fun. No, it is a fun game, but there's some stinking frustrating aspects to it that can drive you absolutely bananas, and this one's doing it to me already. Didn't take long, did it? And there's definitely a high-low factor in this level. A lot like, if I'm remembering, level 2, it's like the water and kind of up and down and this and that. So there is definitely a high-low aspect to this game. Oh, yes. It's, you know, I mean, to this level anyway. Like, there's this upper ledge that you can't get there. You're on the lower area and blah, blah, blah. You have to connect from another room. Yeah, you get the idea. At least I hope you do. And, of course, you get a lot of the obnoxious, like, spells that turn you into, turn you into a bunny for a little while. So it's kind of like being a Moogle in Final Fantasy Adventure or Secret of Mana. We'll be talking about those games at some point. We'll see how I do Secret of Mana on here. Will that be 10 parts or will it just be done differently? I'm going to do my best on that one. Oof, that one will be an interesting, fun one to do. Maybe in the next couple months or in the next couple of years. We'll see. It's either around April this year or in a couple of years around April. It's just how it's going to be. I'm not going to do all the big, long game reviews all at once because it's just, I don't know. So it'll be a little overwhelming and not easy to do. But eventually Secret of Mana and Final Fantasy Adventure will be on here, sure. Another interesting monster in this level are basically what appear to be slugs, and they drop bombs. Yeah, it's kind of funny. They give you bombs, too, after you defeat them. But yeah, they kind of randomly drop bombs everywhere. So it's like a bombing slug. Interesting. And what can, of course, be very, very disorienting is, like I said, the whole high-low factor. It'll appear that you've been in rooms already on the map. But yeah, you've been in the rooms, but not in the certain part of it. So you'll be like, oh, I've already been there, so I'm not going the right way. You actually are going the right way in certain cases. Maybe you didn't go in at the angle you're going in. And yeah, it is what it is. There's like a million keys all over the place. At the beginning of the level, you're like, where do I find all the keys? And then eventually you start finding all of them, but you're still kind of like not really progressing in the level, which is annoying. So, If only you could find the big key a little faster, but that's the thing. The big key is a big thing in these levels. You feel like you have a real chance of winning once you find it, but before you do, it's just like tedious, frustrating. Am I ever going to find it? Is it going to take me 5 hours? Am I going to like wear myself out before I ever even get the darn thing? Well, maybe. Maybe. It's it's one of those things that can take the fun out of the game sometimes, but I don't know. That's part of the challenge, I guess. And it feels like every time you think you're getting somewhere, you're back in the room you were at before. Wahoo! It's frustrating. As you progress in the level, you get to an area where there's, you're in one room, there's 2 torches, I guess they're called, or lamps, near the bottom of the room you got to light up. And you go into the next room below, well, not below, but south, basically. Yeah, south, the room south. You have to light the 2 lamps in that room, or torches as well, and a huge wall will open up in the corresponding right room. Interesting. A trick to save yourself the frustration of it all, like possibly if the torches go out, so to speak, because you took too long. Move the blocks out of the way first, because they will stay where they are even if you leave the room. So move the blocks out of the way first. Cool little tip that's going to save you some stress and frustration. As now there's like an earthquake type of thing, and next thing you know, the whole wall in the next room will have moved because there was basically hardly anything in the room. But now a big space will be opened up. Woohoo! Let's keep going, baby. And of course the next step is obvious. You fall down the hole that is created. Interesting, right? Okay, I keep saying interesting. And that's how you finally get to the big bleeping key, because I saw it out on the ledge. How do we get there? We just go around. Oh, you're going around, all right. Oh, you are going around the whole gambit. But you finally ran the gamut and got the big key. It always seems to be that way, especially the further and further you get into this level. Whew! But now things open up again, just like they should once you have a freaking key. You can open the doors to getting further in the level, and yeah, all the doors open. Okay, I know, that was real funny. I'm sorry, but that's kind of what mood I'm in when I think about how this game gets further and further. This game gets more and more complicated the further and further you get. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. You'll also have another one of those annoying switches that you can step on, and once you step off, the door closes again. So what does that mean? You'll find out soon when you get the treasure of this level. It is the cane that creates blocks. Ooh, yes. So that's when that will come in handy. Unfortunately now, more dead ends. That's the joy of it. More dead ends. And as you continue to progress, you get to a point where you get the falling floor effect again. And this time some all-seeing eye type things shoot lasers at you, which is really kind of scary. But at the same time, you finally get to the doggone treasure, the Cave of Samaria, or Cane of Samaria. The Cane of Samaria. Now you can create blocks, go back to the room where you couldn't, stand on the switch and it wasn't enough. You had to have something permanently stay there. So there you go. You finally have the darn cane at the very least. And as you get closer and closer to the end, you have to keep going back and forth with the stupid crystal switches. It's really annoying. Like, yeah, but there's another crystal switch. There must be another way that I have to get through again. Back and forth, up the stairs, down the stairs, in this room and that room, and dealing with enemies in your way nonstop. So, yep, that's how it is. That's just how it is. You got to keep going, and you finally endure and get to the boss, which is a bunch of eyeballs with a big eyeball. At the front, pretty much again, hack away as they come to you, and hope you can stay alive long enough. Stay alive, ha, stay alive. Unfortunately, it starts casting lightning at you, and the big ball anyway, the big ball, eyeball starts casting, lightning at you, which a lot of times you can't avoid, and if you don't have enough medicine, guess what? You get to work your way all the way back to the end again. But if you win, you win. Well, at least once you're able to survive long enough to get to the big eyeball, the trick is you just keep hacking away as he bounces towards you. Don't waver in your position, and he'll eventually die. It takes about 500 hits. Well, it feels like it anyway. It's probably closer to 10 or more. But he finally dies, and oh my God, I had run out of medicine in this case because the level was long and tedious and all that stuff. Occasionally you leave a level to go restock your medicine. This one I didn't. Somehow I made it. Link, because of you, again, after the fireworks display and the new heart container, Link, because of you, I can escape from the clutches of the evil monsters. Thank you. Well, you're very welcome. Ganon captured us because he couldn't break the seal of the wise men with his power alone. And then, using the wizard Aghanim as his pawn, he drew us to the Dark World. Well, he is the wizard Aghanim, basically. After cracking the seal with our powers, he sealed us inside of these crystals. He then gave us to his loyal monsters, but Ganon didn't plan on your getting this far. Now Princess Zelda is waiting for you inside of Turtle Rock. Please hurry. Yep, Turtle Rock. Ooh, boy, that's when it starts getting serious. Do you understand? Yes. May the way of the hero lead to the Triforce. And now you may want to get some heart containers along the way, or heart pieces that lead to heart containers. But, yep, you got level 6 done. And now the hope is maybe, just maybe, we can also get the golden blade before we get to that level. Because, oh, you're going to want it. Believe me, And the great news is, as I worked my way back to the bomb shop, of course, again, the Dark World equivalent of where Link's house is, the super bomb has arrived. Yes, sir, the big, big red one that's like 3 times larger than the others. The guy says, or the character says, thank you very much. You can drop this bomb off anywhere. Please don't forget it. And apparently, it's, yeah, well, I was able to get it, whatever it was. So very happy to have it and just dancing on the clouds to have the super bomb. Apparently, it didn't look like it charged me anything for it, though, or not very much. At the very least, certainly not expensive, because I didn't have much money. I looked at my money and I'm like, oh no, I don't have any money. Of course, you don't want to dash because Link will just kind of leave it somewhere. You don't want to do that. So walk at a gentle speed and work your way back to where the pyramid is. It takes a little while. It's annoying, yes, but it is what it is. Just take your time. At least you don't have to, at least it's not like detrimental to you. It's just tedious. So just work your way back through the stakes and all that stuff. The purplish violet colored stakes. Actually lilac colored is probably a better way to describe the color of the stakes. Work your way back to where the pyramid is if you can. If you can. Sometimes you get lost, right? No, eventually you're going to get there, getting through the little rocks or hills or whatever the heck those things are. And now we're heading towards the area of the pyramid. Again, this is a very, very, very pivotal part of the game. You go up the first set of stairs, you'll notice that the wall is cracked a bit. Drop the super bomb right there, just press the A button, walk away. You'll notice, you'll notice the number 3. And it starts slowly counting down. Kablooey, the sucker opens up, or is broken open, whatever, from the super bomb. And then you get the mysterious pond. So I get all the names mixed up because I'm weird. Throw an item, and using the Y button, well, the bow and arrows are right there, so just throw that in. And now you're going to get the silver arrow. Yes, sir. It's a big, heavy set fairy. She says, hello there, did you drop this? And you say, yes. You're an honest person. I like you. I will give you something important. These are the silver arrows to give Ganon his last moment. You definitely need them. I know I don't quite have the figure of a fairy. Ganon's cruel power is to blame. You must defeat Ganon. Yep, so she got, big because of Ganon, basically. You now have the silver arrows, which are the final blow to Ganon. And they're a more powerful arrow that you can use anywhere else as well. Now, you want to basically walk back out. Come back in. Pardon for my hiccuping and such. I think there's a third item, and I mean, obviously you could probably fill up your medicine again. But first things first, let's throw the sword in, which is just an unbelievable, awesome feeling once you can do that. Oh, we're going to get the golden sword. I'm so excited because it makes the game better when you have the most powerful sword in the game, Hello there, did you drop this? Yes. I like an honest person. I will give you something better in return. I remember for the longest time I was like, how the heck do you get the golden sword? How do you get it? How do you get it? You got it. Yes, you got it. Your sword is stronger. You can feel its power throbbing in your hand. The gold frickin' sword. Level 4. Oh, I feel like $1 million holding that thing. Best weapon in the game. Best weapon in the game, bar none. You're in the house now. And there were games beaten by my brother and myself. I think it was my brother more so where we only had the red sword. But then once we discovered that, it's like, hell yes. It feels so much better. So I'm going to try the shield, because like obvious stuff isn't going to work. I'm going to throw the shield in. She's not going to give you the red armor, so don't plan on that. You can throw the blue armor in, but did I drop this? I will give it back. Don't drop it again. So unfortunately, the shield is, yeah, you can't upgrade to the mirror shield. I didn't think so, because I know that's one of the items in one of the dungeons. So it is what it is. That's an important thing. I think that's it. But I mean, the silver arrow and the gold sword, I can't get too greedy. I think I've thrown the boomerang in a couple times. Wouldn't that be cool if you get like a golden boomerang and it's like insanely good? But I don't think you get anything. Sucks. But it's always cool to just kind of wonder and imagine and all that. I used to hear about like something like a silver bow that you somehow could get that in, like say you beat the penance early. You get the silver bow along with the Pegasus boots, but that rumor never came true. My friend Dave brought it up many years ago, and like it's like, yeah, the arrows just fly across the screen, like it's unbelievable. But maybe it's not true though. I wish it was. I like stuff like that. It's cool to even imagine something in that area, but looks like that's it. Yep. So it's just the 2 items, but they're awfully important, so can't complain too much. I'm going to throw in the blue medicine. I doubt that's going to do anything. Maybe she gives you blue medicine. Yeah, if it's empty. But, I don't know. I'm guessing maybe she'll give you green, just like the Waterfall of Wishing. So it's Mysterious Pond. So, yep. And then there's another... I forget how to even get there or what to do with it. But supposedly you can go inside. Oh, yes, and there's a heart container. If you work your way up the pyramid a bit. Heart piece. I keep saying the same stupid thing over and over again. It's on the right side. So you get up 3 flights of stairs or so, and you can jump down. You can even see the heart piece when you head to the right side. So you just kind of jump down, go grab it. Yeah. Almost forgot about that one. So yeah, you can get that really, really early. So apologize for that, but whatever. Better late than never. I got it. But at least you have the golden sword and the silver arrow. So you have more powerful arrows that you can use well before you even get to Ganon. But obviously to finish Ganon off, you're going to need those. We're going to get some more items, some more heart pieces, and the cane of Bryna. So that's going to be a wonderful item. Well, it's not that important to have. It's just a feeling of you completed all the items in the game, like the heart pieces, and of course the blue cane, which is kind of like a defensive weapon that has fire kind of around you, but of course it's cool to have just because, but it's definitely not necessary to beat the game. But yeah, it's up in the mountain range, so let's go north, young man, and work our way up there over the course of time. We're going to basically do what we did much earlier in the game to get to that portal when you first got into the Dark World and were just a bunny. So yep, work your way up into the mountains. That's where we're going next. And also, I highly recommend we should pick up as many heart pieces as available before we even go in there to the actual like Turtle Rock and all that. We can kind of go all over the place looking for heart pieces, and of course up in the mountains we'll eventually get that cane of Bryna that I keep talking about again. It's not important necessarily to like meeting the game, but it's nice to have. Like, wow, I got everything. I'm a good Zelda player. So one of the areas that actually we never even got to yet was the tree that the lumberjacks were cutting down. You can just pretty much smash into that sucker as soon as we get up to the lumberjack area, because of course we're close to the mountains anyway. The tree should be like a lighter green color now for some reason. You just knock it, and yeah, that's why they were saying this tree feels weird. And you fall down inside to the pit, so to speak. And you hear a bunch of fairies and stuff, which is wonderful. You can get fairies if you need them to fill up your power, or put them in a bottle when you catch them with the bug net. Otherwise, guess what? Piece of heart that I hadn't gotten to for a while. I talked about it a long time ago, how to get there, but now I finally friggin' did it. So, good job, Joe, right? we need to get all of them. Especially before you head to Turtle Rock. There's one that you can only get when you're actually playing in Turtle Rock. So that's like the very last one, though. You notice the lumberjacks are long gone. They're not in their house. They're not cutting anything nearby. Where are they? God only knows. You'll see them again, though, in the ending. So spoiler alert, you'll see the lumberjacks again. Ooh, that's really important, right? But yeah, at least we know they're alive and stuff. There's also one a few screens away from the sanctuary where it's those rocks piled up on top of each other. I never actually got that one either. Heart piece in there. It's in a treasure chest, and now I have a full heart container, so that's good. So basically, when we do the math now, there's one more full heart container to get in Turtle Rock, but that would but 2 more hearts in order to basically maximize everything. So that means I have 8 pieces to go. So yeah, let's get to work, eh? Unfortunately, we're gonna at least get 6 or 7 more, which would mean another full container, so to speak. And then you wrap things up once you get finished with Turtle Rock before you head into Ganon's Tower. So there you go. And then the next one I'm going to go to is up in the mountains, basically close to Spectacle Rock. Basically, there's a little ledge you actually can jump down to. It's within view. There's a couple ledges. I just want to make sure I'm going to the right one. I may have picked the incorrect one. There's a left one and a right one. I picked the left one. So we'll see if I screwed that up. And, well, if I did, so be it. Sometimes I make the wrong choices. And, well, I'm still kind of finding out the hard way here. Looks like it's the wrong one. That figures. So it should be the right one, pardon me. The cool part is you can get pretty much right back up there again. You just kind of jump down off the ledge, climb back up the long ladder, so to speak. This is like the same ladder you used when you're coming up here the first time, the Spectacle Rock area, pardon me. So you go further to the right, if you can. Just want to make damn sure I picked the right one this time. Literally. I did. So it's just basically the right, just basically go in the right ledge, or jump off the, to the right, basically, to the east, so to speak. You got another telepathy thing. Link, it is I, the Elder. You must somehow make your way to the top of Spectacle Rock, blah, 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 blah. So could have gotten it much earlier in the game, but oh well, darn. It's not that complicated. So just get them now while you can. You could get it earlier when you're going to Spectacle Rock, but oh well, it is what it is. So now we're going to try to get to that one that looks like it's on a solitary island in the light world. So we're going to be in the dark world to get there, of course, because we have no access to it in the light world. You have to kind of switch between worlds. So sounds like fun, right? Well, kind of. Well, get into where Lake Helia is in the dark world, which isn't hard to do. Again, when you get to the castle, looks like there's a little ledge you can stand on right away after climbing down the ladder in the northwest corner of Lake Helia. You're barely even in the lake. You're just standing on not a ledge, but a shallow spot. Nope, that's not it. Let's go back. That's where you could get the bottle really quick if you wanted to do that. So that was pointless. I didn't think that was correct. Didn't look like it. In fact, I might not even be anywhere I want to be yet, which is fine. I'll figure it out shortly. Getting deeper and deeper into the lake. Yeah, I was looking at something incorrectly. And yes, there are wonderful guides all over the internet, of course, like Zelda Wiki and such that can help you with these things. But yeah, to make it more obvious, there's a huge circle of rocks with like a, a more shallow area in the middle. Just, yeah, use your mirror there. You get to the light world. You're on the solitary island with the piece of heart. 2 down, 6 to go, ultimately. And again, the 8th one for sure is in Turtle Rock, and I think the 9th one as well. Well, it's like you're in Turtle Rock, you come outside onto one of those ledges. Similar to how I'll be able to get the... well, actually, that final cane is around that area, so that'll be one of the final things we get before we head into Turtle Rock. And then again, you want to make sure you're completely powered up and ready to roll before you go into Turtle Rock. Otherwise, you're going to regret it, let me tell you. The next one is in the sanctuary, or by the sanctuary, to the right a little bit in the cemetery, but in order to access it, you have to kind of do the whole dark world and mirror type of deal, you know what I mean, parallel worlds, because there's a ledge that you can see in the very northern part of the cemetery that you cannot reach. So think about it, same thing. Best thing you can do in the light world is just go to the warp in the dark world in the forest. That'll save you, or right in front of the forest or whatever, it'll save you a ton of time versus going to the castle and having to go all the way around the whole world, because access to get to that cemetery in the dark world would take forever, and it's not worth your time and effort. It's just not. So yes, just use your little use your duck to get where you want to be. It's gonna be, you'll save a ton of time that way. I'm gonna enter the cave here at the top. Okay, it's a cute little thing. I'll tell you a profitable story for 20 rupees. Thank you. To tell you the truth, I found incredible beauty inside the pyramid, but someone steal the door. You can't do anything with the standard bomb, they say. Yep, so okay, that's like a hint of you needing the the super bomb, which I did get in order to get the golden sword. Unfortunately, that lady is not incredibly beautiful anymore, but she will be again as soon as Ganon's curse is lifted when you beat the game. Yeah, she's a little bit bigger, and, well, that's life. That's just one of those things that happens, right? Yep, you can see a ledge. Kind of, it's like parallel to the other world. This one you can actually walk up. In the light world, you can't walk up it. So you can walk up the ledge at the northern part of the cemetery. In the dark world, press the button, well, select the mirror, press the button. You're now on the ledge in the light world that you couldn't access before. And voila, you'll have a heart container after bombing, well, picking up a couple of pots and getting hearts and bombs and stuff that you could actually replenish over and over and over again, which is another cool thing. Bomb the wall, and your heart piece is up above. Just one more to have another full container, but again, we still got 4 more to go after that, so 5 to go. 3 down, 5 to go with the final 8. Of course, I've said a billion times, we're not going to get all 8 right now, because you can't get all 8. You can get about 6 or 7, but at least we'll have a whole nother heart to use entering Turtle Rock and all that cool stuff. And by the time you're done with Turtle Rock, you'll be completely maxed out and ready to rock and roll and finish the game. Sound good? Sound good? I agree. And if you just got that one, I recommend staying in the dark world or going back to the dark world and heading a little bit to the west, basically, if you can, and all that cute stuff. We're gonna try to get one that involves using the magic cape, hookshot and magic cape. So 2 interesting items you'll be using to get this next heart piece. Sounds fun, eh? And as you get to the area that would basically be around the lumberjacks, but a little bit to the east of it, where the mountain range starts, basically you can see a heart container in plain view on top of a ledge, and there's a cave. You pick up the big rock, whatever, and go inside. So you kind of work your way in, and you'll come to a dead end, which will tell you, like, what do I do now? What do I do now? Well, that's where the magic cape comes in handy, at least if we ever get there. You have to go upstairs first, and of course upstairs is where it is. You'll need the hook shot, because you can see there's a pit there, or like where you'd fall back down to the lower level. Hook shot, so you could grab onto the skulls. Now you see this bouncy thing that's in the way. That's where the magic cape comes in handy. You phase yourself, like Star Trek, and guess what? You just went through it. Pretty cool, eh? So now you can get another heart piece, which leads to another heart container. 4 pieces to go. I hope, I may have missed a few along the way. I'm going to try to figure out, well, yeah, it's a pain in the butt trying to make sure you get all these. I think, well, there's at least 2 or 3 that I know for sure I have not gotten on this list here, and then I have to dig around and figure out which ones I never did get. So that's the fun part the rest of the way here, figuring out which heart containers, heart pieces to lead to the final heart container that other than the one you get in Turtle Rock when you beat it. So yeah, we're getting closer and closer to being full stamina and all that cute stuff regarding the hearts. So I'm going to try to see if I did the stake garden. I might not have done that. So if I haven't, that's great news. So you just go a little bit south of where we are right now. And I just can't for the life of me remember if I did that already. It's kind of around the Haunted Grove area, but maybe a little bit to the west of it, honestly. Again, in the dark world, though. We're all in the dark world. That's where we just were, of course, to get this most recent one where you climb up the shed and stuff. So we're kind of in that complicated, busy little area where there's a bunch of trees, you know, but you can get through gradually and surely if you, well, maybe not. That's a dead end. You want to go around a bit and all that fun stuff. Yeah, it's an annoying part of the game where you can get lost or just run into dead ends and such. So go a little bit west of that annoying area. Very close to the village of outcasts, if that's what they call it. I believe that's what it's called. Yes, I've said it 100 times now. Sorry. And then when you're in the village, you're going to want to go east after you go south for a little bit. At least I'm pretty sure, yes. Then there's your stake garden. I don't think I came here yet. Oh, no, I did. I can see the opening. That sucks. So, yep, I thought so. Sorry for wasting your time. Amazingly, I forgot one that's right out in plain day in the Desert of Mystery, pardon me, but you have to be in the dark world to reach it. It's another one of those. So you just kind of fly, you know, with the bird to where you need to be. And then you kind of stay in the left, as far left as you can, pretty much, area. And you'll be able to, all right, kind of far left area of the screen, use the magic mirror Try to figure out which area you can get on the right. Yep, that's all I needed to do. It's freaking crazy. Heck, I could have even gotten this without even... Yeah, I didn't even need to do all that. I could have gotten it way back when I did the second level, when you walk out. I just totally blanked on that, so I figured it'd be things like that. I know there's at least one more that I'm blanking on. I got that one out of the way, and I'm pretty sure the other one is in this same desert somewhere, because there's like 3 or 4 hearts here in this area. So I'll be back for that. And I was very quickly able to solve the mystery of which heart container I was forgetting. So basically, again, it's in the Desert of Mystery, or you want to be there anyway, and then warp to the swamp in the in the Dark World. So the Dark World version, instead of a desert, it's a swamp, obviously in the Dark World. And you go to the northwest corner. One of the openings that I forgot to go into has 2 little treasure chests in it. One of them has a $20 or 20 rupee, $40 rupee, whatever. And you get the missing piece of heart. The other 2 are up by Turtle Rock. One you access via Turtle Rock, the other one you access along the way. So this little quest of finding all the heart pieces across the world is pretty much all over now. The last 2 will be very close to each other. So great feeling there. Maybe we'll try to get that cane really quick first before we enter that stinking level called Turtle Rock. And as you head back up to Death Mountain, you're going to treat it exactly the way you did much earlier in the game when you first got the mirror and the moon pearl and all that cute stuff. You have to kind of, again, trick your way around the spectacle rock and all that cute stuff. But now, instead of heading to the Tower of Hera or going to the left, it's time to go to the uncharted area, unless you've been there, to the right. Ooh, where things get much more serious. But before we do that, when you first actually use the warp in the dark, to the Dark World, just go south a little bit from the little circle of bushes you appear on, and just jump off the little ledge, and in that cave is the cane of Byron. I can never say it right. Bryna. So basically, again, here when you see a bunch of spikes and everything, all you got to do pretty much is use the magic cape. Unfortunately, you might run out, but that's just a reality that you have to deal with. Then you'll finally get the elusive cane that we've been talking about for about 5 hours. Then there's a bunch of hearts underneath all the little skulls to fill you up if you were damaged a bit, because you have to come out of the cape in order to pick up this big block in the way. So you're going to take some damage from the spikes. You're never going to have enough magic left to use the cape to get back out the door. And the mirror, unfortunately, doesn't work. So what you got to do pretty much is try to book the heck out of there and pray for the best. Luckily, it's not too big, so it is what it is. Once you get kind of near the end, maybe use what's left of the cape, something like that. And again, try to get out of there. Luckily, I did survive. I did get the cane. And there you go. I finally got the elusive cane of Byrna. It's so hard to even... Byrna. That's probably the best way to say it. I apologize for stuttering with that one nonstop, but I guess it's just something for you to laugh at in the future. We have all the items now. All that remains left are the 2 heart pieces like I keep talking about. First one you can get before the cave. The second you get afterwards. But for now, we're going to get that first, the first heart piece. And after that, we'll finally be able to go to Turtle Rock. And then the real challenge of the game begins from there. Basically, you just kind of work your way back up. But I almost say go back to the light world and kind of fill up a little bit. It's not worth it. Go back to the light world. You're going to be there anyway to get over the spectral rock. So just go back to the light world to fill up your magic and maybe any hearts that you lost. I know it's annoying to have to backtrack, but it doesn't take too long to get here when you have the flute anyway. So what the heck. So back to the mountain area we go, basically walking past the Tower of Hera. This time we really are going to the right. I'm not going to say, oh, nope, I forgot this. So, yeah, I mean, well, welcome to video game reviewing, Joey, right? But it is what it is. Those obnoxious little gargoyles, every time you hit them, they turn into stone. I can't stand those little clowns, and obviously they've been there the whole game. I didn't mention them earlier. You get the red spider type things. What are they called? Tektites? A Tektite is like... I don't even know. The angry video game nerd had something fun to say about that. There's another one of those little 5 piles of rock deals close to a cave, which is one of our next destinations. The little pile of rocks, though, hit it, and there is a fairy, which can help fill up your power, because you're probably going to be beat up a little bit from these obnoxious little gargoyles straight out of HE double hockey sticks, if you can imagine. So now let's try to get the second last heart piece of the game. Won't that be great? And as you can see, kind of north of you, northeast, north, or whatever it is, there's like a ledge or whatever you'd call it, like a piece of the mountain that you can't reach in the light world. So guess what? Gotta go to the dark world again. Isn't that exciting? So you keep going to where Turtle Rock is, all the way to the right pretty much in the mountain range. Pretty much all the way to the right. You'll notice there's a, you know, like a plateau or whatever it is that kind of builds up a hill that plateaus with 3 stakes. Basically, you're gonna smush all of them down. And nothing happens. So you got you got to do them in the correct order, which is my fault. So yeah, Joey sucks. We'll come back to that here very shortly. So of course, as you're pounding those stakes with the hammer, it's, you know, it'll either make a sound like you did it right, or the da-da sound if you do it wrong. So simple logic there. In this case, right, center, left, and then you get the portal to go to the dark world. You are literally on top of Turtle Rock. Well, you might as well use the medallion now, because what the hell. You could see which medallion it is. That would be the Quake medallion, which is the, yep, which is probably one of the cooler looking effects. You hit it and then purple lightning bolts come out, and Turtle Rock has opened. Otherwise, you can't get into the son of a gun. The music here is absolutely fantastic. Yep, it's that dark mist, as they call it. Let's listen to it right now real quick. And I'll probably play it again when we head into Ganon's, Ganon's Castle level 9. No, Ganon's, Ganon's, whatever the heck you'd call it. The Ganon's Tower, basically. Which is kind of a review of a lot of the other boss battles you're going to have coming up. And you get those scary looking griffin type creatures. Griffins without wings, basically. They're basically like remakes of those, yeah. I forget what you'd call that, where it's like half horse, half lion, basically, and they shoot fire at you. In the original Zelda, they throw swords at you, like, you know, like Link with the powered up sword, that type of deal. So now you kind of go through the little cave here and try to figure your way outside, and eventually we'll use the mirror to get to the ledge you couldn't reach before. That's always the fun part. But really, to get to the actual heart container, you want to pick up the rock outside, which reveals a cave. It's kind of like in the same spot where that fairy was buried underneath the, underneath the 5 piles of rocks, or like pile of 5 rocks or whatever. So in here, you're going to want to use the hook shot, kind of work your way around. You can get treasures, you don't have to, that type of thing. But eventually, you want to work your way to, of course, I just was a dummy and hook shot myself. But, here, you're going to need a medallion. I believe it's ether that reveals the stuff underneath. Oh yeah, but of course, on this stupid, fuck. on this HD TV, it doesn't reveal it, which is actually a big problem, to be quite fair. So you might need a player's guide, depending on what kind of TV you have. Otherwise, actually, it's quite simple. I just did it without having to do anything much. You walk upward, see, because it looks like there's no path there, in this case. It looks like there's no path. But you walk up a little bit, and then to the right a little bit, and then back to the left, and then you're able to cross over the, you know, it's an invisible platform, basically. And eventually you get to the wall, you bomb it, you keep going up. Might as well bomb both walls while you're here, because, well, there's one to the left and one to the north, or whatever you'd call it. Go north, you can heal up with the fairy. Gotta love her very much. Surprisingly, I was still pretty full, but whatever. We'll go to the left now, and finally get our stinking heart container. And there's another bombable wall, but let's go outside first, because let's just do that, huh? Let's just do that, right? Yeah. So use the mirror. You're clearly where you want to be when it comes to getting that last or second last heart container, heart piece. Pardon me. Now we have it. Rock and roll, and now it's time to finally take on Turtle Rock for real. Oh, goody, right? By the way, that other bombable door takes you to the takes you to a bunch of little fairies, which is totally nice. We appreciate them very much and their help and everything. But again, Turtle Rock. Let's just get there. Yeah. But unfortunately here, depending on what type of TV you have, or if it's the emulator or what's causing this, where you can't see the platform underneath you, you'll need a player's guide, like a map, unfortunately, to be able to get around all that stuff, to be able to see the invisible platform. Thankfully, player's guides are all over the place with that. So, yeah, that way, you won't have to use as much ether. It's a freaking headache, but it is what it is. I'm not sure if it's my SNES Mini, like the emulator on it, or what the heck, or if it's the TV I'm using, but that's definitely not the best thing in the world to not be able to use that. But I suppose you'll save a ton of magic, because having to use ether every single time, though other things can help, obviously lighting lamps, but then again, yeah, see, that's another way to do it. But again, it may not, to make the invisible platform show up as lighting lamps nearby, but it still might not work with the effect, depending on your emulator or TV or video connection or whatever could possibly be causing this issue. So it kind of is what it is, but Turtle Rock is next at long last. As you enter Turtle Rock, the first skull you pick up, or at least one of the two anyway, has a large magic container, so you'll be full no matter what there. And you could always walk back out and do it again if you want to, because everything refills when you walk out. So that's a nice trick that we've talked about forever. Of course, the little phone, we'll call it, telepathy phone, says, Link, do you possess do you possess the medicine of magic? If not, I recommend going against any further. Yeah, well, I personally have 4 blue medicine bottles, basically, so we're all set and ready to go with that. You get the question mark type of thingy. That's where the Cane of Samaria comes in, and again, magic. Yeah, it creates a little platform that'll let you go across the divide, so to speak. And this is, again, one of the more annoying levels in the entire game, but, well, God forbid, we got to get through it. And then the game gets more fun after this, at the very least. Fairly early on, there's an insanely annoying level, which is like, we'll say the upper right door, we'll say, where you're heading to the right anyway. Yeah, you got to light all the lamps, well, on a moving platform that you create with the, of course, you have to light them with the fire rod, and you have to time it correctly in order to be able to get to the door that only opens when all the lamps are lit. So, whew, yeah, just little things like that in this level can drive you absolutely nuts. And again, maybe at times if you're full power, so to speak, full power magic and hearts and all that, avoid the skulls until maybe, like the little skulls where you can pick up and there's possibly items underneath. Avoid them until maybe you either take some damage or you use some more magic, because, well, there might be magic jars or hearts under there, so why waste them? That'd be kind of dumb, right? Somehow, by some miracle from God himself, I was able to accomplish getting to that door that won't open without all the lamps being lit on my first try. So I don't know if it's experience or what, but na boo boo, I got it. And I don't have to deal with that anymore. There's the map. And I guess I'll pick up the skull because I'm not coming back in here. Yeah, and it fills my magic up a little bit. And the key. So 2 very important items to get the level started. I don't have to come back in this room anymore. Don't have to deal with it. Isn't that cool? One less obnoxious thing to deal with. Again, it's all about timing. Wait until almost like the last second. Pretend you're like Christmas shopping, right? Wait till the last second, and then go in there, and then use the fire rod to light up the lamps. Again, angle yourself properly, and you should be able to get that obnoxious, stupid little, puzzle accomplished fairly easily, I hope. Then you have the ultra annoying lasers that fire at you when you're facing the door. Like, say there's a door, you're trying to get out, and then all of a sudden the laser starts shooting at you. So the way to accomplish that, or to avoid that, face the other way, charge up your sword, and just hold. Because then you're stuck facing the other way and you're walking backwards out. Because if you're facing the all-seeing eye, so to speak, it'll keep shooting lasers at you. How quaint. So thank you so much, evil laser, you son of a gun. Let's get the heck out of here. Let's just get... now I just got knocked off my little platform. That was really dumb. But that's Joey for you. Yes, I'm going to whatever, deprecate, because I'm just such a humble guy, right? Most of the time. Stealth forces and all this cute stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm doing pretty well to start things out, which just feels good. You get this character that looks like he's coming out of Super Mario 2, like Pokey, I think he's called, the little cactus that splits into different parts. Kind of funny. Yeah, I swear they got him out of Mario 2, or Doki Doki Panic. We'll talk about that someday, if I have time, if I feel like it, but maybe I'm just too busy, right? Well, who knows? And we have more of that crystal switch manipulation stuff where you got to get through this and get through that. But if you got this far in the game, you're probably smart enough to figure it out. Yeah, you'll be fine. You're experienced enough in the game to figure it out without Joey being a, condescending jerk telling you how to do it. So, and then we get into the pipes and all that. Kind of fun. Mario World, or no, not Mario World, but maybe Mario World, maybe Super Mario Brothers, whatever the heck you want to call it. But yeah, I've taken a little damage, so I'm willing to pick up some of the skulls and such. If somehow I get through this level quickly, I'm going to be very happy. But of course, the final boss, whew, yeah, you're going to need a lot of magic though to beat him, because fire and ice. Let's just leave it at that. So, yep, the little pipes that take you to different directions, different areas and such. Well, it's okay to kind of do both. One of them will ultimately lead you to the final heartbeats, from what I remember correctly, as I head quickly through this. Believe it or not, I already have all three of the important items that you need. The key, the big key, the compass, and the map. So, of course, getting the big key, you ultimately, again, it's through the tubes. It's the treasure chest in the middle, basically, of all the tubes and such. You kind of work your way there. And you feel like $1 million when you get that accomplished. Because, yeah, I mean, the big key is a crucial item for so many things. I just took a magic jar that I didn't need, but oh well. And then by process of elimination, like, oh, I went through this one, so just go through the other one next. That's all. Because you're probably going to want to go through all of them just for the whole sake of completion and all that. And I think I'm finally in the one that actually takes me to the final heart piece. I think so, where it's literally like leading you outside. When you get to it, then you'll have a pretty good idea where you want to be when it comes to that. So the best way to go is go to the left. You kind of go outside, trying to avoid, you bomb your way outside, avoiding the laser, all-seeing eye things shooting at you. You go outside, go across the ledge, to the right, and you go inside, make a little tiny platform, and there's your big treasure chest, as long as you have the big key anyway, and you got the mirror shield, so now you can actually reflect the lasers, but you have to be facing them to do so. Of course, without your sword drawn, because if your sword's drawn, your shield is to the side. The other trick, though, is your shield is always facing up. Like, say, if you're looking to the left or the right, the shield is facing up. So if you want to walk sideways, make sure the shield is... yeah, so if you want to walk sideways, that's how you have the shield. You can avoid the bad guys and such. Also, again, like say you're walking up, the shield is to the right. If you're walking down, the shield is facing towards the left when you're trying to avoid the laser shots from the right and left. So major thing there to talk about and think about. So that's how you protect yourself. Say you're walking up or whatever. If say you're walking up or whatever direction you're going, north or south, you need to be facing the direction, like say obviously power up the sword, and you can walk that way. Otherwise, again, I guess, the shield is pointing whatever direction you're going, but if you need to go up without getting shot, have the shield out. Let's try to get that final heart piece now. Oops. You gotta like the oops, right? Well, luckily it didn't hurt me, so all I can do is basically use the mirror when I'm right in front of the right, you could say the right door. basically the right door in the dark world, and then now you're in the light world again, and all that. After using the mirror, you go inside the cave. You get those weird looking mimic creatures. Just power up your sword, face the other direction, and kablooey. The other ones you have to deal with by shooting arrows at them, and hopefully you can hit the target. Again, pretty simple logic to what you do there. You're inside the door. Bada bing, bada bang, and bada boomina. You are all done collecting heart pieces. All you got to do now, and the great part is the fact that that was a full heart container. You're probably damaged a bit from those frickin' lasers just a few minutes ago. So you're completely full now with just one heart container left, and it is a container when you defeat the turtle and Turtle Rock. You're going to be fully powered up, offense and defense, when you're all done here. Because, yeah, well, you're going to get the red armor in the Ganon's Tower. That's the last item in the game, ultimately. So, yeah, now you finally got the final heart piece and the mirror shield. So, wonderful, wonderful turn of events in that same little spot. And as you work your way in now with your key and your shield and all that stuff, of course, avoid the lasers and all that, but as you kind of work towards the north and stuff, you get to a room where you bomb both, there's an option to bomb north and south. You bomb the north one, there's these annoying little grungies or whatever they are that come out of that door over and over and over. I don't know what that is, but yeah, it's a weird character, like little, I don't know what they are. Grungies, that's the only word I could come up with. So, interesting thought there. Another one of the annoying crystal switches and all that cute stuff to be able to get the very important small key, which of course is the key to success and stuff. And like I was trying to say, you kind of work your way north and then you eventually have a door with a big keyhole. Now you can actually access it and all that. So, yeah, kind of important. Another one of those weird tongue statue dealies. One of them has a lot of bombs raining down on you, which is great. The other one opens the door. That would be the left one. Not too important, though, unless you'd like getting a lot of blue rupees. Might as well. I mean, once you're in there, go ahead, and you can kind of... It's almost like a mini-game and such, avoiding the rolling pins. The spiked rolling pins is basically what they are. I don't know if they're making Christmas cookies or something. Something for Valentine's Day. It's blue, so it must be blueberry. Okay, I'm just kidding. It's like blue rupee dust and stuff. This is the definition of the love of money is the root of all evil. You know why? Because you're chasing money. You're risking your life just to take money. Ooh, that's real important, right? Well, I guess we all do that every day at work, don't we? In a sense. Now we come into one of the more annoying parts in the history of video games, or at least in this game, where it's a dark room where you're dealing with... Oh, God. I don't even know. It's a dark room where you're... Oh, boy. I don't even want to remember this place. Oh, my God. Yep, you're on one of the, you create a little platform thing and it goes on a track, in the dark with fireballs swinging around. It's just, oofda. Yeah, it's a headache. At least you can see the fireballs, but you can't see the track, and you got to time everything properly and angle yourself properly, and it sucks. I hate it. But, eventually you'll figure it out, as I try to do as well. Hopefully I can get it without too much stress and frustration. It's funny because I finally got to the door. I figured it out. It's like a maze where you got to go up and down, and guess what? The door is closed. So, of course, you have to find a switch somewhere on one of the other ledges. This part sucks. Yeah, because, like one of the tracks is above the other one. That's what adds to the confusion and frustration to this stupid screen. And you keep taking damage all the time because you can't avoid the fire. You can't. You're going to hit it. You're going to get hit. So, unless you're like unless you're the biggest perfectionist who knows everything, and, well, if you do, I guess we're happy for you. Good job. I believe I may have found nothing. I found a five rupee. Isn't that great? I'm like the greatest gamer in the history of the world because I found a 5 rupee. I may have it this time. Is it the thing in the center? And it's another one of those obnoxious frickin' things where you need to create your own block, and I don't know. I don't even know how I'm going to do it without bleeping this up. Yeah, I probably already screwed it up. I don't think it's doing anything. I suck at Zelda. What I'm afraid of is getting back on that stupid thing. You know that thing, right? The worst part is the frickin' block you create disappears after a while. And just getting the block on the frickin' switch is the hard part as well. Because it's such a small area. So, again, this is a stupid part of the game. Stupid! And when you figure it out, you'll be so happy because you won't have to do it again. Parts like this make you never want to play the game again, and then, oh, I gotta play again. I gotta play again.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Yep, they pulled me back in, especially when I realize that the block, you don't use the block at all. That's why there was no sound. You just step on the switch, and if you step on it again, it just closes the door again. Yeah, so try to avoid the mistake I just made, and yeah, it's just, oh my God, what an annoying level. That's what it does, though. It took effect. It throws you off so much that you start making dumb mistakes, and you end up wasting medicine. Just, oh my gosh. It's fun stuff. And then you get into the really interesting room where there's treasures everywhere, and you got to hold your sword out facing the correct direction, so to speak. You want the direction, so as I'm walking, say I'm facing up the shield and I hold out the sword, the shield is pointing to the right. So if you have lasers shooting at you from the right, face up while holding out the sword. Get by, you're okay. Next, now you have to have the shield facing towards the left. So you're pointing, you're basically facing downward or south or whatever. And then you even have an obnoxious son of a, some swear word coming at you. And yeah, and that could throw you off as well. But that's how you get all the treasures in this room after you get through this horrible frickin' maze that can make you go absolutely berserk. One of these has an all-important key in it. So you have to go in here. Like it or not, you have to. Hopefully you have enough medicine in case you get hit by lasers or keep getting pushed down the edge by whatever, because you do not want to die here and go back through the level again, especially that room you were just in. It's going to throw you into insanity, so it's not worth it. Insanity's bad, it's bad. It's evil, Now I'm going to fall off the edge again because I'm the biggest dope in the history of the video gaming. You can tell I get a little crazy sometimes playing these kind of games. It's a fun game and enjoyable, but there are parts of this game that can turn you into a maniac. The angry video game nerd exists for a reason, because parts like this, they can turn you into a maniac. Of course, going outside leads to absolutely nothing, but that's okay. You got the frickin' key that you needed. You got the key, okay? You got the key. Now you can, move on and stuff and feel a little better about yourself and all that. And thank God you have the gold sword because it kills most things in just one hit. And then you get another obnoxious crystal type room, but I don't know. Hopefully you can handle it and deal with it. I don't know. It's not easy, but it's not hard either, that kind of thing. It's obnoxious more than anything. Those stupid bubbles or whatever they're called. I guess they're called bubbles in Zelda 1. In this game, I'm not even sure exactly. That's probably the same thing. Fuck. Stupid thing continues to get in my way. I can't even hit a target with the broadside of a bar because I suck at this game and every other game I played. And as you get through that annoying little room, you get what appears to be the end of the level, if I remember correctly. Hopefully there's nothing too crazy on the way because you're going through torches basically as you go across the platform. And I did guesstimate correctly that this is the final boss. Oh yes. The turtle himself, Turtle Rock, he is a rock. He is a turtle inside a rock basically. You got there's 3 heads. The main head, of course, is damaged by the sword after you defeat the 2 heads before. Do I have enough medicine and all that to beat these guys? I don't know. I'm going to try. I'm going to give it everything I got, I guess. You got the ice. Ice obviously damages the red, which is the fire, and blue, which damages... yes, blue is ice, and then red, which damages the ice, which is blue. Common sense, right? But let's go, baby. Let's go. One interesting trick, though, that I should mention is that, say, if you die without using any medicine, which is probably a good thing, or without using any medicine in the battle, there is a full magic. I just got one from a bad guy anyway, so you could still kind of get around this. Unfortunately, you still got to go through that annoying little crystal room, which could bother you very much with these stinging bubbles. They're the worst little pests ever because they can take your magic. But there is magic jars all over the place, so make note of that as well. But back to fighting actual Turtle Rock or whatever you want to call him. I would recommend getting rid of the ice one first, like the blue head, because, well, that one creates a hazard. Because of, you know, it creates like an ice path that remains there. The cool part is, once you start hitting the character, it's stunned for a while, like the head, whatever. So you can keep firing away rapidly, which will make the battle easier. And I recommend shoot the crap out of the son of a biscuit. Kill the son of a... Yeah, exactly. Do it. Just do it. You know, like Nike. Okay, never mind. Just kill the son of a gun. Yep, you just kind of hack away. Pretend you're a turbo button or something. And when the son of a biscuit dies, you feel like $1 million. Now it's just you and the turtle, or like it's like a snake basically remaining of the turtle. And you hack away at the center, of course, which is kind of obvious after the fireworks display. The center, it's kind of like the heart or whatever that's flashing. Hack away at that until you defeat the a-hole. And if you have the golden sword, it only takes 3 hits. And Turtle Rock is over. Enjoy the fireworks display because it's a very good one. You have earned it. Oh, ho, ho, ho. It feels like $1 million. Your heart containers are 100% full. Zelda drops from the sky. And ladies and gentlemen, you are ready for the finale of finales coming up here in Ganon's Tower. But first, a word from Zelda. She's a word from our sponsor, you know what I mean? At least as soon as she starts talking. Yep, there she is. The young lady with the Triforce in her head, basically. It looks like it. I appreciate you coming so far to rescue me, as I thought you are the legendary hero. Well, after getting this far, you'd think I hopefully was, right? I have felt this from the first time we met. Aw, isn't that cute? Ganon is waiting inside of his tower to pass through the gate linking the 2 worlds. On a side note, Zelda is never this nice in the cartoon. Remember how she was a spunky, you know, mean, whatever, like a mean, like older teenage, like 17-year-old girl. That's pretty much what she was throughout the Zelda cartoon. She was never nice like this, ever. And this one, it's like, I knew you'd help, you know. And that one, it's like, yeah, what took you so long? Slap. How about a kiss? No. Well, excuse me, princess. Okay, back to where I need to be. I think I read this already, but just in case I did not. Ganon is waiting inside of his tower to pass through the gate linking the 2 worlds. Once Ganon enters the light world, it is unlikely that anyone can stop him. But if he stays in the closed space of this world, you can find him wherever he runs. Now go to the Tower of Ganon. We will use our combined powers to break the barrier. Let's return peace to the country without fail. Do you understand? I believe so. May the way of the hero lead to the Triforce, pardon me. And then, yes, everything is filled up, which is great. But your bottles aren't filled up. So before you do anything else, warp back to the light world and fill up your medicine. And then head back up to Ganon's Tower. Simple dimple to get there. Much easier to get there than to this place. Oh, isn't it a great feeling, though? Isn't it a great feeling? Like, just tell me. Tell me it's not a great feeling to be done with Turtle Rock. Ganon's Tower, actually, is kind of a fun level. It's almost like reviewing the previous bosses and all that stuff and the vibe of the levels and such. It's not easy or anything. Don't get me wrong, but you do have a powerful sword, and eventually you will have the most powerful armor as well. That is the final item in the game. You've got all your heart pieces, as long as you continue to do that. And of course, if you need help, there are all kinds of guides on the internet to get there. I will cite the place. Oh, I hope I didn't close it already. I might have, though. I think I did. Dang it. So maybe I'll dig it up real quick. I apologize. And that would be what looks like Zelda. Yep. ZeldaDungeon.net. And I'm not going to say www. This isn't 1997, though I was very much alive and almost a young adult, or I was becoming one around that time. So, yes, ZeldaDungeon.net. So, yep, and just basically, of course, just Google a link to the past heart pieces and then choose this one. It's very helpful. And, of course, maybe even YouTube videos if some are really hard to get to. Get all blue bottles, and especially for the battle with Ganon later after you defeat the tower, all blue bottles. Just do it, because you know how to get unlimited money, and odds are you've filled up your money along the way as well, picking up treasures and stuff. One other quick fun note is, remember that Gumby-looking cactus type thingy outside of the medicine hut? You can kill him now with the gold sword. Every other weapon he would have electrified you, unless you had because you had full power and were shooting at it, so to speak. But It feels so good. It feels so good to be done with Turtle Rock. So let's head our butts up to, let's basically do what we did before. Head our butts back up to the mountain, to the peak, and up to Ganon's Tower. Of course, to get there, we have to kind of do the same thing, like basically as we were going to Turtle Rock. So heading to the right until we eventually get to that top of that turtle thingy. Well, rock, like raised rock, plateau, whatever the heck you call it, and get into that portal. And then, of course, after that, you would work your way left and eventually get to see something kind of cool. Take your opportunity, take advantage of the ferry on your way over, because odds are you're going to get hit by something on your way up the mountain and on your way over. So heal up with the little ferry underneath the, the pile of 5 rocks. Good part is you don't have to open up the stakes again, or, hit them in a certain order again. It's kind of silly and stupid. Just once is enough. Now you're on top of Turtle Rock again, but you already beat it, which is a wonderful thing. And now you get the super intense music again, which I love very much, because now it really makes sense to hear this song, because we're going to the real place. Basically, Death Mountain at its finest here in the Dark World. It's the real Death Mountain in a lot of ways. You get the much meaner looking chimera type characters that come after you, and there it is, sparkling in all its glory, with basically a barrier that's blocking it, and eventually you get to hear from the maidens. But first, let's hear that Black Mist Storm once again. Puts you in the mood, doesn't it? Puts you in the mood as we head to the end. And now, here we go. You get to the front of the Ganon's Tower with these, orc-looking statues in the front. That's basically representing Ganon. What a pig. Yeah, he actually is, I guess. Link, we are going to break the barrier of Ganon's Tower with our power. It rhymed. They start floating around, and they're going to break the barrier. And bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. The doors have opened, and you are in Ganon's Tower at long last. Up you go into that big monster called Ganon's Tower, which I've said 50 times. It's the real thing. 7 floors and a basement. So again, it's basically like all the other labyrinths in a sense of you want to get the master key, or big key is, I guess, the way you call it instead of master key. The big key, the compass, the map, all that cute stuff, and eventually your treasure is going to be the final thing you can imagine. Because what's missing? What's missing? Your subscreen is all full. You got everything. Everything. So the only thing left could possibly be the red ring or red armor. In the original Zelda, it was the red ring. And the blue ring, of course. Blue ring reduces the damage from the compared to the green, the regular tunic you wear, by a half, and the red all the way down to 1/4. So you get the idea. Good stuff. And like I said, again, it's similar to the other levels. Nothing super unique at the moment. Of course, we'll probably see something. But you're also going to kind of see almost like previous dungeons in review, in a sense, like the worm and all that such, as you're going up, up, up. But I'm not quite there yet. We'll talk to them as we get to there, or talk about them as we get there. And like Minnesota Vikings coach Mike Zimmer always said, we'll cross the bridge when we get there. Yes. You get a super annoying effect when there's 2 crystal switches next to each other. You figure you have to bomb. You have to do a bomb basically there to trigger it, because it's the only way you can get around. But when they're right next to each other, you have to place the bomb a little bit away, because, yeah, just to be obnoxious, it'll trigger it twice when there's 2 switches. So you basically end up right back where you started, if you get my drift. Yeah, it's annoying, so that's a little tip. And also, like classic Zelda, leave no stone unturned, if you know what I mean. Unturned, unpushed, no skull unpicked up, and all that stuff. So there's that. And then there's all kinds of annoying little mazes where, you know, you go into portal to this, portal to that, portal to this, portal to that. That's kind of the fun of it all. But, well, that's how it is. Hey, you put the game in, so play it, dang it, right? Kind of like I'm punishing myself right now. Fun game, but obviously there's aspects to it that are going to get to you at times. Believe me, what always makes you feel better right away, though, is having the gold sword. Just, I have the gold sword, I have the gold sword. So a lot of the enemies that drove you crazy earlier in the game, you can kill in one hit. Yeah, good stuff. And unfortunately, you will run into the invisible floor nonsense. And with this TV, I'm not sure what your situation is, but with this TV, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Yeah, so I use ether, and it stays black. So you either have to kind of guess, and yeah, it's not working out too good. Or pull up a map on like GameFAQs or something like that. So there's a possibility you're going to run into that with the HD type of deal. I don't know why. It's so stupid, but it's like, gee, thanks. Thanks, NES or Super Nintendo Mini. Thanks. You know, especially those of us that are not those of us. Me, I luckily got it off of Amazon at the regular price. Now everything is, you know, $500-600 everywhere. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm going to try lighting a torch real quick. That's another way to make everything show up. Let's see if that works on this. It does. Okay, so maybe ether was a bunch of crap anyway. Sorry. Well, it worked. So now I see that greenish crystal floor, basically. Apparently I froze everything with ether. That's kind of funny. And I took too flippin' long because when the light goes out, guess what? The floor's gone. You can't see it. Nah, boo-boo. So you either have to memorize it or whatever. Move faster. That might help. Move faster. Great idea, right? That's from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Yeah, move faster. Great idea. You eventually get in a room where, well, yeah, that's where you get to after getting through the, getting through the invisible floor deal by lighting up the lamp. You fall through the, well, yeah, the only place you can bomb is the southeast crack, basically. You could say cracked floor. Now you get to meet up with the Armos Knights again, which is kind of cool. So yeah, it's kind of like Mega Man in a way, but now you have the silver arrow and everything dies in one hit. So enjoy, kick some butt. Of course, missing 950 times because you got an icy floor is pretty obnoxious. Oh yeah, and then the SOB that jumps at the end. Well, he's dead anyway. He's an asshole anyway, like the AVGN would say. And by the grace of God, if you get to, well, when you go to the left, there's a area you can bomb, the room north of that. And you've probably taken some damage screwing around and figuring out what to do. There's a bunch of fairies, so in the next room you can feel up. That is a wonderful thing. Yep, thank you. That's awesome. The crappy part is if you went left like I did, you can't go back in the room. So, I don't know. I guess maybe you can fall back down or something later. Because I'm curious what's in that north room, but maybe it's not important. Of course, right now I'm staring at the, maybe, who knows, maybe the big key's in that room. Because I'm staring right at the big treasure chest. I could sure use that right now. Again, that being the red armor. Maybe I'm going to try to work my way back over there. What the heck? What's super annoying is you have to bomb the floor again. Why? Like, come on. Well, is it ever going to go? There we go. We'll go back down. I'm just curious because and you have to fight the knights again. Wow, that's pretty dumb. And as I suspected, the big key. What a surprise. So, yeah. Yes, go north, young man. Go north first. Don't go left. Go north, okay? Go north. Yep, I could have made a fatal error. I'm glad I had that itch in my... I'm glad I had that itch to go up because after defeating the knights, second time I just shot the heck out of him because I was losing patience. And now we have the big treasure chest. That is awesome. Of course, you get these stupid spikes everywhere. Annoying people upstairs, making a lot of noise. Everything, that kind of thing too. But we do have the red mail now, and yes, I don't mean mail like, yeah, but you look kind of a Christmas color thing. Maybe you're a Minnesota Wild fan, like myself, I guess. And, well, I like Christmas colors. Some people don't, shame on them. But I like the North Star colors more, though. I'll just leave it at that. Did I mention having the blue bottles? Yeah, have the blue bottles. Have the blue bottles because of magic and all that. And you get a room with, the tiles coming out of the floor, that obnoxious rabbit changing thing, the bubble, and oh my god, and that stupid hand that comes down. Oh my god. And it's all to get a key, at least from what it appears to be. because I don't have one right now, and I'm guessing once this floor is done, I'll get a key. If not, I'm going to be pissed. But that might be exactly what the case is. I'm losing a lot of power here, getting too much to concentrate on at once. It's just one of those annoying aspects of this game, let me tell you. And there is no key. What? Oh, there it is. Okay, at least it should be the key, right? It's a key. Yeah, it's a key. So, yeah, what an annoying room. Get ready for that one. Then you might have been a room just like that obnoxious room in level, I believe, well, the forest level, where you have all the mummies around, the hand coming down, the lamps to light. I'm not sure if you have to light the lamps. It doesn't look like it, but I'm about to find out. You probably do, just because. Doesn't look like it, unless there's a treasure up the last room, apparently. So maybe that one. Yay. And another new interesting effect, now that I got through that awful room, is picking up a bomb and putting it on the conveyor belt. You probably figured this out as you played it, but yeah, you got to do it twice. You got to get in an area, and then through the next area, which is, you probably figured out as you play it, but pretty irritating, to say the least. To time everything like perfect, and I don't know, I'm failing to do that miserably at the moment for some stinking reason. Finally. It's basically as long as the smoke reaches it. I guess it's, well, you know, considering like, say, you know, shrapnel or whatever, debris hitting the darn thing. So, good for you. You get to a room full of a bunch of treasures that are not that important so far. Maybe one of them is. Oh, yay, 1 rupee. That's incredibly awesome. And you get the compass. That's the last one. So, I believe I have all 3 of the dungeon items, as they say. Map, compass, and a master key. And, of course, they have the final piece of equipment in the entire game. So, that's a great feeling. Now it's pretty much all a matter of getting through everything and all that cute stuff. Makes you feel a heck of a lot better once you do it. Let me tell you. Let me tell you, there are so many rooms in this level that look so easy. Like, say, you just dash through and everything. And then it's just not. It's just obnoxious. There's one stinking little thing after another that can knock you off the edge, and you got to start over. Knocks you off the edge, and you start over. It took too long. Holy crap. I remember this level not being quite as annoying as it is. Another area where you actually got to pull a statue to reveal the little star underneath to change the landscape of the room, so to speak, which is very minor. You just get where you need to be to get to the portal and all that cute stuff. So, yay, fun stuff. Looks like more lamp lighting. We're going to light the lamps here. We're going to play a little hockey, you know. Very simple one here, though, in terms of, like, the invisible floor. That wasn't too complicated. You probably could have just walked without even using it, but now there's more. There's more. It's not going to be just a one and done, is it? Of course not, right? Of course not. Now we're at a point where you basically just want to start working your way up, up, up. You're back to the original room, which apparently is on the 2nd floor. So just work your way up. Get the heck out of there. Hopefully we don't have to deal with the hands anymore, the hands that pull you away and all that stuff. I don't think we do. Luckily the tower narrows as you get further up, which is, yeah, less crap to deal with. At the end of the day, woohoo! One of the #1 aspects of this level, and a skill that you have to develop, is simply being able to multitask. And I mean multitask. Like, this is coming at you, that's coming at you while you're trying to concentrate on hitting this, and that's, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. That's what this game is like, and it can drive you insane. But I guess that's part of the fun of it, and it makes you smarter, right? Well, maybe. Either makes you smarter or makes you really crazy. One of the two. All kinds of stuff going on at once. Yep, it's wonderful. Okay, at least I opened the dang door. Yep, as I continue to work my way up. At the moment, I'm on level 3 of 7. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a bit, I suppose, but, well, things get better, I think. And the rooms with ice, let me tell you, that'll follow as you get further and further into the level. Oh boy, let me tell you, it is going to make you want to destroy everything in your path. You'll be like, yeah, I don't even want to say. I mean, I'm losing power about as fast as, you know, yeah. I'm losing power about as fast, I don't even want to say it. I'll stay away from some other crazy conversation for now. And there is a room where you absolutely, well, the only way you can light it up is with that ether medallion, if it works. And in this, again, in my situation, it doesn't for whatever reason. I don't know if it's the TV, the video connection, the SNES Mini, or what. But yeah, just look up a walkthrough. In my case, what did I wind up with? ZeldaDungeon.net. So yeah, That's the best way to go. I mean, otherwise you're just going to keep falling and lose your mind. So it's not cheating. It's absolutely not. If you call that cheating, you get a life. Another one of those obnoxious light all 4 lamps situations. It's not the hardest thing in the world, just the fact you got to be on the thin, ground. You could fall off and all that. But luckily in the next room, there's a big green magic jar underneath one of the skulls. Get it. Just get it. Yes. Very simple to say. And another situation here where I believe the ground crumbles underneath you and you have to light all the lamps. Oh, wonderful. The way I was able to handle it is pretty much walked with the lamp to the southeast lamp, and then to the southwest lamp, and then walk up again, just trying to avoid those obnoxious fireballs moving around. Go to the northwest one, and then just use the flame rod for the northeast lamp. That way you're more likely to get through that obnoxious part without losing your mind, because believe me, it's possible, quite possible that you will lose your mind, because it's insanely obnoxious. You can fall down and you got to do it all over again. It's just so stupid. But of course, again, no matter what happens, you're going to have to do it over anyway because the ground crumbles. So just look at it that way, I guess. Now you get to take on the obnoxious worm that can knock you down, and pray to God he doesn't. Luckily you have the gold sword, so you can do a little more damage and all that. It's either way, it's a hectic battle that never, you're never happy until it's over, let me tell you. Wonderfully though, with the gold sword, you never even have to face him when he, goes crazy, starts moving fast. You can kill him very quickly in just 2 hits. Annoyingly, you still have to fall down. I don't know. But, okay, you still have to fall down for some strange reason. I guess you work your way back up later. I didn't land on spikes or anything. That's great. Yeah, it's just, this whole game is about kind of moving around and backtracking and doing this and doing that. Apparently I did something wrong. Let me find out, because the worm's back. That's wonderful. That's what it was. I thought I heard a chime. Yep, so you actually use a hook shot to get to the treasure chest across the, the divide, so to speak, into the south area. It's 20 rupees, but obviously that's not the whole purpose here of, beating the worm is to get 20 rupees. It's to move further into the level as we're getting nearer and nearer and nearer to the final showdown with Agnim and ultimately Ganon himself soon thereafter. Of course, after you refill all your hearts and stuff. If you survive this stupid, obnoxious room with ice, spikes, moving platforms, and those stupid, turtle, well, whatever they are, those beetle-looking things with the shield mask, I have reached level 7, and it is showtime, ladies and gentlemen. Are you all set for the, second final battle of the game? This time there's kind of red magic flashing in the background, which is kind of a cool effect. Almost like Castlevania or Dracula, final battle with Dracula. Aghanim says, I'm very happy to see you again, but you'd better believe it, that we will not have a third meeting. Prepare to meet your doom. And now he splits into 3 characters. The faded ones are not him. The more solid form is him. I'm guessing you figured that out. That's the one that can get damaged by reflecting magic. I have 0 bottles left, so it's going to be a tough one for me. The good part about the multiple forms of Aghanim, if you could actually hit him twice in one quick session, so that's really cool if you're able to be fortunate that way. So look at the positives, not the negatives, right? He is gone. And again, here comes Ganon himself. What a shock! He turns into a blue bat. I can't believe that was Ganon the whole time, and it's just an empty suit now on the ground, kind of like the typical politician in Washington. You get taken away by now I got to make my semi-political rant. You get taken away by the duck, the weather vane duck, or whatever the heck it's called. And Ganon, in his bat form, intentionally smashes into the top of the pyramid. And basically all you do now is fall down in there to fight Ganon. But no, go fill up your medicine, okay? Yeah, that would be common sense. But at least you're all set and ready for the showdown. Get your popcorn ready if you're not playing. Get your popcorn ready and get all set for the final battle, baby. Here we are. You heard the anger from the angry music, as now it's Ganon himself. It's no longer the wizard, it's Ganon himself, the alter ego. I never imagined a boy like you could give me so much trouble. It's unbelievable that you defeated my alter ego, Aganim, the Dark Wizard, twice. He's furious, obviously, and I would be too, but I'm not evil. But I will never give you the Triforce. I will destroy you and make my wish to conquer both light and dark worlds come true without delay. Guard, basically. So, well, early on, you're just kind of hacking away at him with your gold sword, and just keep hacking away, avoiding his spear that he throws around. And obviously with the gold sword, it's a lot more powerful. The more damage you do, eventually, he's going to start, the fire is going to start. Yep, that's when you're kind of like at phase 2 of the battle. Of course, if you have 4, count them 4, cure-all medicines, you should be fine, especially with the gold, obviously the red armor and the gold sword. You should be able to pull this off. And unfortunately, those fireballs turn into bats that come at you, which is extremely annoying. The battle just gets harder and harder and harder as you continue to hack away at the son of a gun. And of course, again, right now, now he starts stomping on the ground like Bowser in Mario 3, and the floor starts to collapse on the edges, the outer edges. And now he becomes more invisible as well. So you can hit him. Yeah, every time you hit him, he stomps again like Bowser in Mario 3. So he's kind of moving around quickly like he did in Zelda 1. And you're kind of hacking away at an invisible force, basically, in that game until you reach him. But this one, you can actually see him. But watch your power meter. It's going to go down quickly because you're kind of concentrating on trying to hit him, but you're the one getting hit. And eventually, battling him in the dark is going to be what's really a pain in the butt. Got him again. Yep. So, obviously, this pyramid has everything to do with the Triforce itself. But unfortunately, in the Dark World. So now he's broken apart the 4 edges. You're doing well, lad. But can you break through this secret technique of darkness? En garde. Yep. Foncez. Parlez-vous foncez. Ganon. So now it really is the dark, just like Zelda 1. You light the lamps with the torches, and now he's blinded for a moment, or, so to speak. Hit him. I thought I had him, and I didn't. Got him. He turns blue. What do you think that means? Hit him with the silver arrow, baby. It doesn't kill him in one hit. Too bad, but you're very close to finishing off the game. And I believe I've only used 1 medicine so far. One other major thing. Do not fall down the edge because you will be furious. You know why? You get to start the whole battle over again. Isn't that wonderful? So do not fall. Do not fall. It sucks. It's the worst thing that could happen. And yeah, you just blew it if that happens. I've now hit him with the silver arrow twice. 3rd time, not enough. You can actually turbo shoot him as well, like just hack away at the button and hit him more than once possibly. But obviously that's that's kind of lucky, but if you can do it, that's great. Close proximity and quick timing. He has kaput. Ganon is gone. The fireworks display is on. Your golden sword is being held high. There is nothing coming down from the sky other than, guess what? The staircase will open, and guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Victory is yours. There's the Triforce itself, floating up in the air. Welcome, Link. I am the essence of the Triforce. Isn't that an unbelievable feeling? Yeah, if that was real, could you imagine? Yeah, could you imagine? The Triforce will grant the wishes in the heart and mind of the person who touches it. Unfortunately, it's going to be slow, so bear with me. If a person with a good heart touches it, right, will make his good wishes come true. If an evil-hearted person touches it, it will, well, the Triforce, will grant his evil wishes, which, of course, Ganon did. Yes, that's right. And you get this beautiful green background. It's awesome. The stronger the wish, the more powerful the Triforce's expression of that wish. So basically, everything will be filled with Stanley Cups and World Series trophies and Vince Lombardi's. Yes, that would be my wish. Oh, you know it. You know it would be. Larry O'Brien trophies everywhere. A trophy case, so large, there's nowhere to put it. That'd be my wish, but that's a different case. Now that I've babbled about myself, I apologize. Ganon's wish was to conquer the world. That wish changed the Golden Land to the Dark World. A slow scrolling. I apologize again. Ganon was building up his power here so he could conquer the Light World and make his wish come completely true. Which almost happened, but guess what? Yeah, it just didn't, But now you have totally destroyed Ganon. His Dark World will vanish. The Triforce is waiting for a new owner. Its golden power is in your hands. Yes, sir. Time to wish this golden land away and bring back the dark land away, dark world away, and bring back the golden land. Now touch it with a wish from your heart. Down it comes. It is the Max Force, as they called it in Zelda 2. And enjoy the final music, the ending music. As you may have noticed during the ending, everybody that was killed or wounded or whatever the heck by Ganon is all back. Even the sage is back. It looked like he died, but there he is. The sage is back. The king is back. And the elder is back with his wife and that little grandchild or whatever. Even the woman that was running away from you, apparently she was the mother of the two brothers that were quarreling. The mother that was saying, "Oh, Link kidnapped Zelda. Oh, get him, So, stuff like that. There's the retired thief unlocking treasure chests again, turning around. Oh, hey, what are you looking at? It's always fun. And I guess the bully's now a friend with... and the joke of that is how they look the same. Like the guy that was turned into a ball looks like a ball. And the bully still looks like, I don't know, the Joker from Batman, I guess. And, well, there's the uncle with a tiny little regular sword, and you're standing there with a golden master sword. Wouldn't that be cool? Could you imagine your mirror shield, your red mail? So, it's a great feeling. And you'll also notice a similarity in this credit music, final credit music. Sounds a lot like Legend of Zelda with a da 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 da, but obviously it's a different tune. It's a different way of approaching it. But it's still, you know, there's still a similarity, and you'll notice it. It's in a lot of the Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy 1 all the way up to 6. It's even in 7 for like a split second, and after that I lost interest in the Final Fantasy games, but don't tell anybody I said that, so it's a secret. Oh yes, and the Flute Boy's back, of course. That curse was lifted, and yep, all the beings and people maybe that were trapped there hundreds of years in some cases are back to normal, living a normal life. The Queen of Fairies and the Wishing Well, but she already looked normal. The heavy set one, I believe, is fixed as well, but they don't show her, unfortunately. The one that was, cursed or whatever in the pyramid that gives you the golden sword. She's kind of important, Makes the game a lot easier. It's amazing how tiny those little, blacksmith dwarfs are. Yep, there's the super fast guy waving and all that, and yep. But you got to hear the music already, so I'm just kind of describing a bit of pieces of it. It's a cute, most pleasant ending, I would have to say. There's the other woman that would run away. I guess she was the mother of the bug-catching kid. Cool. Interesting. The lost old man is searching around in the mountain again, having a good time, I guess, enjoying the scenery. I would too. I would love to be up there. That looks cool, if it was a real thing. What's also kind of cute in the ending is everybody's kind of waving. Even the forest thief, but he's a little bit different personality. He did his little huffing and puffing, like, whatever. Well, okay. And unfortunately, the saddest thing of all, the Master Sword sleeps again. Forever. Yep, so there it is, back up there in its glory, but unfortunately it's no longer golden or anything. So, kind of is what it is, though. I guess we won't need it, but we all know there's a million more Zelda games, and a lot of them I didn't really get into, outside of Link's Awakening. I just kind of lost interest as things went from 2-dimensional to 3D. 3D backgrounds like this are one thing, but now you get to hear the other version, the other pretty song, as they go into the actual final credits rather than the characters. it's a very, very, very nice song, and kind of a feeling like, wow, I just did something pretty good. You know, it's a nice ending. But no, as I was saying, again, I mean, for me, Zelda should be two-dimensional, bird's eye view. I'm sure 75% of you think, what's he talking about? Like, get with the times. I don't want to. I don't want to. That's why this is Video Game Flashback. And I'm kind of more of a flashback type person. I was once told, like, you want to live the rest of your life in repetition. Well, how can it be repetition? There's enough games from the past that it wouldn't, and yes, I'm going to play certain games again, yes. But there is a library out there that could go on forever and ever. And plus there's some nice Game Boy and Game Boy Advance versions of these Zelda games and such, like Four Swords and all that. They're okay. I think the first four, though, are the best. I really do. It's very hard for me to let go. So with that, now that we forgot the ending and all that, I'll also talk about the amount of lives I used in this one, and you can compare it to yours. Maybe you're one of those perfectionists that's able to get through the game without dying. I can do that in Link's Awakening, as long as I am able to kind of hang on and survive at the very beginning, because the lack of stamina, all the hearts, you know, you only have 3 hearts to open up the game. That's the hardest part, and that's the easiest way to die. And of course, the weaker armor, especially in this one, when you have the green armor as long as you do. So, other than that, the statistics for this game is now you get like the cool Zelda music in the background. Castle of Hyrule 0, Castle Dungeon 0, East Palace 2, Desert Palace 2, Mountain Tower 1, Dark Palace 3, I don't know what happened there, Swamp Palace 0, of course the Skullwoods was hell, that was 3, Thieves Town 0, that was cool, Ice Palace, somehow I only died once there. I remember one time in the past I died like 50 times there. I'm not even kidding. Misery Mire 0, Turtle Rock twice, so that's a secret. Don't tell anybody. In Ganon's Tower, I swept that. 14 games played. That's not bad. I'm not a perfectionist. I'd like to be, but sometimes it's just, it is what it is, you know. And sometimes it's just you're not paying attention for that split second, and then, oh crap, I died, and all that. So it's a headache. You can always cheat your way through with the, what do they call that? Save states, emulator save states and everything, which, yes, you can do that on the NES Mini, and SNES Mini, and all that. But I wanted to play as legit as possible. The only reason I would use the save state is because I want to be able to stay at the boss so I can keep doing the darn show. So, in that case, so in certain, you know, disastrous situations, that would be the reason why I'd use it. Otherwise, I tried my best to be legit about things. Yeah, so... Yeah, Link's Awakening, I can legitimately play through it without dying, as long as I get through the first level or two. So that's a wrap when it comes to the actual game. Should we get to fan interaction right here, right now? Yes, let's do that right here. Let's hear what you have to say. Ah yes, feedback and contact details and all that cool stuff. The Twitter account for this particular, why is it still up? Sorry. The Twitter account for this particular show is at VGF_podcast, at VGF_podcast. And you could also help the show with clicking on the link and signing up for Crypto.com. If you want to trade cryptocurrencies, they're on an uptrend right now, and there's a pretty good chance you can make some money doing that. Like, why the heck not? So, you know, the Bitcoins, the Shiba Inu, Dogelon, all that kind of fun stuff. So there's all kinds of opportunities there. Oftentimes, right before the show or the release of the show, or say in this case, the time that I'm recording this particular one, I put it out a good amount of time before the actual release of episode 3. But, you know, at the same time, or part 3 of this episode, because of I wanted to get people to get memories in. Unfortunately, though, there wasn't too many, but thankfully there was some, and I deeply, deeply, deeply appreciate that there was some response to this. And when you do have a memory or a comment, question, anything you want, hashtag VGFB, Video Game Flashback, hashtag VGFB, to keep everything organized and all that. Eventually, in time, there probably will be a good amount of people, but right now there isn't, and that's fine. But even if it's just one person, I really, really appreciate who it is, and I really appreciate. I messed this up. Did it backwards. But I deeply appreciate anybody that would do this And Derek Felska, coming out of Western Wisconsin, I appreciate you so much for commenting and contributing to the show, and he's retweeted it and all that. It's like really, a huge thing. Really appreciated. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything. Yes, he retweeted. So, and then one was a comment. Looks like, yeah, okay. Derek Felska says, it's a fitting sequel to the NES games, but it holds up well compared to the other junior RPGs for the Super Nintendo, like Secret of Evermore and others. Secret of Evermore? So you don't like that one? I thought it was a really, 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 really good game. And of course, people are going to differ on these. Maybe for some people, they probably didn't like Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, partially because it's kind of obnoxious. Some of the levels are annoying, but I guess that's kind of the difficulty and the fun of it. I guess is to be able to get past all that obnoxious side of things and falling down and all that. It's really annoying. But Secret of Evermore, be on the lookout. That one is going to be that one's on the list coming up here as we get later and later in the winter. I often play that game in February, so yes, I'm actually probably going to review that one. We'll see, but I'm probably going to review that one, and that one might be a multi-part release as well, depending on how I'm able to do it and how much babbling I do. But for me, there's a ton of memories. I really enjoy that. So we probably are going to differ on that one. Derek continues saying, just played Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Your hints were pretty helpful in navigating through the opening of the game. The music helps set the mood, and the colorful but shadowy stages fits the auspicious start. Yeah, it's really cool, isn't it? Like, it's just, it's an enjoyable game. And back in the early 90s, going from SNES to Super Nintendo, it was a really impressive transfer, translation from 8-bit to 16-bit. Obviously, the music quality, the colorful graphics and all that is just really well done, and well done graphics, and kind of the personality to it as well. I don't like that they babysize Link later on. Like, say you play the Game Boy Advance version of the same game, and Link sounds like yeah. I think that's really lame, and including like that kind of started with the N64 era. It makes Link sound like a 9-year-old. Like, come on, So I'm not impressed. Just like Mario, hey, it's a me, Mario. Like, that doesn't sound good. It just doesn't. That's not what I'm. How about it's a me, Mario. Hey, Luigi. That's what Mario should sound like. Kind of like in the cartoon. They did a way better job in the cartoon than in the actual games. Like, what the heck? You'd think they do better in the games, or about the same. Like a similar kind of voice. Hey, I'm Mario. Let's get Bowser. Something like that. Kind of a New York, Brooklyn type accent. Why, like an Italiano Brooklyn type accent. And then make Link sound like a little boy? Really? That's ridiculous. So, I don't know. He should sound like he does in the cartoon again. Like, well, excuse me, princess. Kind of like that. Like a 17-year-old. Like Michelangelo, like Leonardo, that kind of voice. That's what he should sound like. Not like, oh, hi, Zelda. That's kind of ridiculous, So that's the big turnoff I have in the later games. Also the fact, again, Zelda to me is 2D. It should be a 2D bird's eye view type of game. Bird's eye view style. Castlevania should be a side-scrolling, not 3D. It just doesn't work for me. Create a different game that's not called Castlevania, that's 3D, maybe with similar features and all that. To me, but for me, just to call it Castlevania when it's totally different, I don't know. But I know, I'm from a different time. I'm from a different galaxy, long ago, far, far away, all that cute type of stuff. So that's kind of my vibe about video games, and that's why I like retro more than modern. I just do, and I feel that way about a lot of things, not just games. Music, absolutely. There's not even a comparison. You cannot compare modern music to stuff from the 1980s and early 90s and 70s and all. There is no comparison. So, in my opinion, you might feel differently, but that's part of the fun of it, I guess, in a sense. But at the same time, don't play it out loud. Just wear your earphones or earbuds. I don't want to hear that modern stuff, and I'll try my best to not force you to listen to anything that you don't want to hear either. Deal or no deal, right? Hopefully Hopefully I'm able to start doing ads on this show, but then again, maybe by the time you're listening to this in the future, the ads will be included. They're placed there, but at the time that I'm recording this, Anchor is kind of, taking their sweet time, similar to my other podcast on Anchor called Freedom of Thought. But I'll just leave that one where that is. Hope you enjoyed this show. It was a big one. Was it a cool way to do a longer game, a larger game? Let me know. Let me know how you feel about that. Also, there will be, I already know what the next game is going to be. Much simpler, a lot easier type of game to do a review on, but also a lot of fun memories for a lot of people. Be on the lookout. Spy Hunter for the Nintendo, coming from Sunsoft. Spy Hunter for the Nintendo. And of course, we'll talk about the arcade a little bit, but not a whole lot. I'm not going to make it all about that one, but I may make some comparisons and kind of the origins of how that game came into my life and why I was so interested in it and why I wanted it so freaking bad. And how I felt about the NES version compared to Commodore 64. And, of course, the arcade version way back in the early 80s, going back to Chuck E. Cheese and all that. Lots of fun. So, all of you, again, thank you so much. Hope to hear from more and more of you. Give a positive rating on Apple Podcasts, star ratings on Spotify, Audible, Stitcher. I believe you can write at least a star rating, but maybe you can write reviews as well. I know Apple Podcasts you can, for sure. It'd be so greatly appreciated. Word of mouth, sharing it, retweeting it. Please do. Get the word out for the show. Again, that's why there isn't a whole lot of interaction yet, because the show is, it was dormant for 15 years and nobody'd heard of it before, even though it existed, but it was obviously dormant. It was kept in an ice capsule I'm just kidding. Yeah, in like a satellite out in space. Okay, I'm just changing it into Star Trek here, but one of the Next Generation episodes. But what was the last thing I wanted to talk about? You can submit an audio submission. It would be great to hear from you with that form as well. Derek has done it for, he did it for Jaws. I forget if he did it for DuckTales. Mega Man he did it, yeah. It was Jaws and Mega Man, and you could tell he loved doing that Mega Man one. Hopefully, hope to hear from you for Spy Hunter. Twitter's fine, but if you want to do audio submission, it's awesome to hear from you, and you can do both too if you want to do both. Anybody out there, the way to do that is to open your smartphone. Of course, every smartphone has a free voice recording app on it. Just open it, press record, treat it like a phone call. Go on as long as you want, as long as it's not like an hour or anything crazy like that. Like, anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes, 10 minutes if you really have a lot to say. And you can also go back, like say you're calling in for the first time and you want to talk about Mega Man 2 and Zelda. You want to talk about DuckTales and Mega Man 2 and Zelda, whatever the heck it is. You can go back, again, as long as it's not an hour. Maybe you can submit multiple submissions, or maybe it'll go for a different show, that kind of thing as well. Like if you have a absolute ton to say, you can go about it that direction. Again, thank every one of you very, very much. I would then convert the file into an MP3 file thanks to Zumzar, so I can get into my editing software and I can use it and put it in the feedback segment here nearing the end of the show. But again, tell your friends, word of mouth. God bless you, and we will talk to you next time with Spy Hunter for the Nintendo Entertainment System. We're going back to the NES again.